Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight, I'm going to be going over this lawsuit filed by Fat Joe's former hype man. Now, a lot of people have been circulating the wrong picture, and I want to show you guys the real deal and bring you guys in on the tea that I was able to basically scrounge up over the internet. Now, Fat Joe initially sued his former hype man, TA, a month or like a couple months ago in April. So in April, he accused his former hype man of trying to do an extortion attempt and a shakedown. So it looks like after his hype man was going online, calling into different bloggers, doing interviews, basically Fat Joe said, listen, we're not going to have all of this here. And Fat Joe filed a lawsuit. Now, months after Fat Joe filed a lawsuit, then comes his lawsuit in return to basically say he was forced into smashing 4,000 people because Fat Joe told him to. Now, according to the complaint and some of the stuff around the internet, he worked for Fat Joe for 16 years. Now, you would think that other employment wasn't available and you just had to, work for these individuals. But he is claiming all of the things, and we're going to go into the lawsuit. But first, before we go into the particulars of the lawsuit, before we go into the information that he is alleging, I found an old video of him when he was still in Terror Squad. So you guys can kind of see who we are talking about before we get on into the nitty and the gritty of it all. But before I pull that up, let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat to let me know that you guys can hear me crystal clear, because we're going to get into some things, honey. Okay. And also hit the like button as well. Okay. We need y'all to hit the like button, and we need y'all to share. Okay. Share my videos. Put me in the algorithm, because we're going to do a breakdown like no other. Now, who else bring y'all the scoop like me? I mean, there's others, but it's better to get it from here. Now, anyways, so let's get into this video. So I was scrounging the internet and I saw that, number one, he had reached out to Hassan Campbell. He also did an interview with Choke No Joke, and he has been kind of like a disgruntled ex-employee online for some time now. Now, there was a blog 16 years ago, and it was basically Terror Squad and this guy TA, who is suing Fat Joe, playing basketball. Now we're not gonna watch the whole entire blog, but we're just gonna see and put a face to the lawsuit. All right, we're just gonna put a face to the lawsuit and get into that whole spiel. So let me remove this. So let's remove this and let me pull up the video real quick. All right, so here it is right here. Let me pull this picture down. Now, this is him, all right? So this is him when he was seeing better days. Now, if you look at him on the interview with Choke No Joke, he looks like life has kind of had him and whooping his feet. But this is him when he was more so in his prime. So let's see him in Terror Squad.
Get out of this, man. Terror. You know, it's your boy TA all day, my nigga Pistol Pete. Get out of this, man. Terror Squad kid, y'all. You already know, man. Having out that Monty thing. About to go to the gym, get our workout on.
That you already know what it is, man. We're getting that early workout. It's that Kilo Rat TS workout. about to ball on these niggas up there, man. You already know we about to go hard.
All right.
What I'm doing, getting money. What I'm doing, getting money.
All right. So, like I said, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I just kind of want to put a face to the lawsuit so you guys can see the man behind it. Now, he also called in to let's play a little bit.
Another win in a row. Just took off Mr. B is true. Mr. B, aka motherfucking hacker. That's why I got the hacker sleeve. So when niggas reach, when I'm dropping, scratch my tattoos and all that. Look at that. Niggas be scratching the tattoos and shit. 3 in a row. Look at my yo. You know what I mean? I'm out there, bro. So,
You already know it's your boy Pistol Man, Kill All Rats, TS for life, man. Just finished getting.
All right. So that's him in a vlog with Terror Squad. Now, I'm not going to play the interview with Choke No Joke. I'm just going to play a quick snippet. But this is an interview that he did with Choke No Joke a year ago. Now, this is when, you know, this is him a year ago. And he said that he was a ghostwriter to Fat Joe. And Choke No Joke was basically getting his story on the goings-ons that happened between him and Fat Joe. So let me pull up the next video, and you guys are going to have to watch the full thing over on Choke No Joke's channel. But I just kind of want to, again, put a face to the lawsuit. So let's go to the next video that we got queued up. And this is him on Choke No Joke. Now, Choke No Joke is interviewing him, and he is the other one on the far right. Let's take a quick listen.
Went to Asia 2 times without you, bro. You never got on a plane. One time you got threatened deep down inside. I said, I'm going to get this nigga back some way somehow, right?
All right. So you see, he said deep down inside, he going to get him back some way somehow. So he has been holding a gripe for Fat Joe for a minute now. So let me bring it just a little bit back and just play a little bit of it.
So where y'all fell out? When was this?
We've looking back, Choke, I'm starting to feel like when I quit on him 3 different times, he always kept it deep down inside and said, I'm gonna get this nigga back some way somehow.
Oh, okay,
right?
He was talking about
But
Fat
I
Joe.
paid up for that, bro. Like, yo, bro, I went to Asia 2 times without you, bro. You never got on a plane. One time we got threatened. They said they're gonna cut our heads off. And you didn't get sued because I came up with the master plans 2 times. I went hard for you. I wrote 3 albums, then some. I formatted all the way up on a plane coming back from Australia. I got footage, bro. Niggas wasn't really all the way up, wasn't ringing off like that. I had a record called 150s with my brother Kish Gunner. That shit was ringing off. We've performed all the way up and then performed 150s. And the reaction to 150s was way stronger than all the way up, bro. And Joe was like, damn, TA, you might have a hit on your hand. And I got a video that I shot to 150. Joe's in the video, bro. But he never really went hard with my music. So when we fell out, it was going. Me quitting on him 3 times, I felt like he held that down inside him and said he's gonna get me back. Then I dropped the one-time record, and fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Somebody that was in Cool and Dre camp, they had hit me up and it was like, yo, I just heard a conversation. I was in the studio with Joe, Cool and Dre, and
All right. So this is an interview that he did with Choke No Joke, and it is titled, What Happened Between You and Fat Joe? TA the Legend, Choke No Joke Live. If you guys want to watch more, then you can hear more. Now, in addition to him doing this interview with Choke No Joke, he also called in to Hassan Campbell. Now, I was able to pull up his Instagram page, and it is like a bitter exes soiree. And basically, you know how when people are mad at you and they create like fake pages and all of it is like a smear campaign of a person, that's kind of what his Instagram looks like somebody bitter and disgruntled. Now, I'm not saying that Fat Joe is innocent or whatever. I really don't know, but it just looks like from the outside looking in, somebody who was not able to be famous, and they're mad because you left them behind, basically. Now, let me pull up his Instagram, and I'm going to show you guys a quick run through of it. And doing interviews, like I said, going off on Fat Joe. So let me share this really quickly. And on his Instagram, he has a call-in where he calls into Hassan Campbell. So let me share that, and then we're going to read the particulars of his suit. All right.
And your man Joe just
Hold up. So basically, what he was using you for was to recruit the females,
absolutely,
instead of pushing your music.
Absolutely, always, everywhere we went.
All right, so what happened?
We standing in the lobby. Shorty got a short skirt on. Your man Joe takes his whole hand, his whole arm, and throws it up her skirt and grab her whole jump off, bro. Like grabs it though, like it aggressively though, like let me get that. And she jumped and turned around, and the nigga was just looking at her. I was in disbelief. I looked, and she was just like, "Oh, I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom." And I just was like shaking my head. Shorty went in the bathroom. She'd been in there 20 minutes. She never came out. She never came out. Shorty been in the bathroom 20 minutes. So niggas go in the bathroom looking for her. The window was up, so I guess she went through the window, right? We go in the parking lot. We looking for her. I was just like, damn, yo. Shorty's going right to police. I already had the gut feeling. I went to my room, probably like 30 minutes later, they call my phone. Yo, police coming to your room. I'm like, yeah. They was like, yeah, the girl say that, niggas have sexually assaulted her. Which Joe did sexually assault Shorty, man. If it wasn't for Fat Joe, we wouldn't be in that situation. So the cops came to my room. He's like, yo, Joe sexually assaulted me. He grabbed me. And your man Joe just
Hold up.
All right. So that is him talking to what is it? Who is this? Hassan. Now, when he was talking to Hassan, he had posted this 24 weeks ago, and he was adding Tony Busby. So he said, Milwaukee was scary. That girl wasn't lying. Look up this story. This happened in Wisconsin. Joe was being a thirsty N-word and also got us locked up for SA. Now, he was adding Tony Busby and putting hashtag Tony Busby, I guess trying to get Tony Busby to pick up his claims. Now, ironically, he ended up getting a lawyer by the name of Tyrone Blackburn. Now, Tony Busby is the one who was discredited by Jay-Z, and he seemingly seemed like an ambulance chaser who was just taking on cases, making them more salacious, and spreading fabrications to shake down celebrities. Tyrone Blackburn, who he ended up getting to represent him in this lawsuit, is being called the Black Tony Busby. Now, I'm not sure if Tyrone Blackburn is an ambulance chaser, but that is what rumors have it, okay? They're saying that Tyrone Blackburn, the person who is basically taking on this lawsuit, is the Black version of a Tony Busby. Now, whether that's true or not, I do not know, but that is what is stated on a lot of people's comments and things like that. Now, Tyrone Blackburn, the same person who is representing this guy right here, was also mentioned in the Diddy trial. Now, Tyrone Blackburn was representing a woman by the name of Brianna Bungalow. And Brianna was the girl who came forward in the Diddy trial, and she was a friend to Cassie. And she stated that Diddy held her over a 17th story balcony. Tyrone Blackburn took on her case. And while she was on the stand, she admitted and said that when he represented her, she had to fire him because she told him what happened between her and Diddy, and he fabricated a whole alternate story and made it salacious and made it over the top. Now, this is what was testified to in court, which caused Diddy's defense team to request a mistrial in the case. A mistrial wasn't granted, but that was put on the record. So I just want to basically give you guys the background of the players involved, let you guys know who's who. Tyrone Blackburn is an attorney that is representing him in this case, and he was just mentioned in the Diddy trial not too long ago. And matter of fact, let me pull up when this was mentioned in the Diddy trial so that y'all know I'm not capping. All right. We ain't out here just making up stuff. All right. So this said about Tyrone Blackburn, Brianna Bongalong's former lawyer. It says music producer Little Rod Jones was in line waiting to enter the courthouse of the Diddy trial. Now, it then goes on to say in the article that Tyrone Blackburn, it says, during her testimony Wednesday, Brianna Bongalong said lawyer Tyrone Blackburn initially represented her in her lawsuit against Sean Combs, who she accused of dangling her over a high-rise balcony and attacking her. But she parted ways with the lawyer. Bongalong said after he got details about the incident wrong in her complaint. All right, so in the cross-examination, she stated that he just made all kind of stuff up and put it in a lawsuit. So that is what is given. So now let's go and read Fat Joe's lawsuit first. Now, because Fat Joe sued him first, then we got to go over those details first and then get into him alleging that Fat Joe forced him to smash 4,000 people. All right. He said that he was under duress and he was not going to be able to be in Terror Squad unless he smashed these 4,000 women. All right. Now, this is him again. For those of you guys who are not aware, he was his hype man, and he is alleging that he ghost wrote for Fat Joe, etc. Now, let me pull up the article that was published back in April when Fat Joe sued him first. All right, let's get into that. And then we'll get into his details. All right. So as you can see, this was posted April 29th, 2025, and it says, Fat Joe files lawsuit against former hype man and lawyer for extortion scheme. It says, today, Grammy-nominated musician Joseph Fat Joe filed a lawsuit against his former hype man, Terrence Dixon, and Dixon's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In the complaint, Fat Joe outlines how Dixon and Blackburn conspired to extort him for money, and he said it started in March 23rd of 2025 when both parties sent a written demand to Fat Joe seeking financial compensation for being a ghostwriter and uncredited vocalist on some of Fat Joe's songs. When the false demand was ignored, they resorted to lower depths for their financial demand in an April 21st, 2025 letter and threatened to file a complaint, not just for unpaid wages and other compensation, but also with utter disregard for truth or decency. False and outrageous allegations against Fat Joe that have absolutely nothing to do with Dixon's purported unpaid wages, including unspeakable acts such as statutory R-wording, forced labor, and S trafficking and fraud. Additionally, Blackburn made false statements to Fat Joe's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, insinuating that he verified all the allegations and had spoken to critical witnesses, including one of the alleged minors, who ultimately denied ever speaking to Blackburn. These allegations are completely false and part of a criminal conspiracy orchestrated between a disgruntled former hype man and his attorney. Fat Joe said these two individuals have been scheming together to extort me with their elaborate and ludicrous demands, changing by the day. The relentless threats, harassment, and defamation I've endured as they peddle salacious lies are utterly deplorable. I'm taking legal action to expose their misconduct, and I'm fully confident that the facts will reveal this is nothing more than a deceptive and desperate scam. So this is what he filed back in April of this year against the man who is now suing him, saying that he was forced to sleep with 4,000 women and he had to endure all of these grueling acts with sleeping with all of these women around the world in order for him to stay in Terror Squad. In addition to that, he says that he witnessed Fat Joe have a relationship with a 15-year-old and 16-year-old girl. All right. So now let's get into what he is alleging. All right. So let me pull that up. Now, let's get that on the screen. All right. So as you can see here, it says Fat Joe's former hype man, Terrence T.A. Dixon, has filed an explosive lawsuit in federal court against the rapper on Thursday. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in coercive labor, exploitation, financial fraud, manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contributions, which were foundational to Fat Joe's professional success and personal brand. He is seeking $20 million in damages. It says that the complaint filed in the U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York, details so many disturbing claims about Fat Joe alleged relations with women, including minors, that it contains a trigger warning on the first page of the 157-page document. For 16 years, Dixon served as Fat Joe's so-called hype man, a common figure in hip-hop who supports the artist by energizing the crowd and enhancing the overall performance. He also contributed as a lyricist and background vocalist on such hits as Contagious, Ice Cream, and Money Over Bees. According to the complaint, he had an unrivaled vantage point to observe the rapper's offstage lifestyle and behavior. Dixon is represented by Tyrone Blackburn, who is also the lead counsel in a high-profile case against Diddy. In February 2024, Blackburn filed a lawsuit on behalf of Diddy's accuser, Lil Rod, alleging harassment and failure to pay his underlying 1 month sorry. 1 month later, Department of Homeland Security agents conducted raids at Combs' mansion in LA and Miami. It goes on to say Dixon states in a complaint that Fat Joe forced him into humiliating situations, including acts performed under duress and surveillance, accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries if he refused compliance. By his own estimation, Dixon states in that suit that he was coerced into more than 4,000 acts to maintain his standing with the enterprise. Most shockingly, the suit claims that Dixon personally witnessed Fat Joe engaged in S relations with children who were 15 and 16 years old, and lists that there is a such Jane Doe, including a 16-year-old Dominican girl in New York, who in exchange for cash, clothing, and payment of her cell phone bill would perform oral, S, and other S acts on the rapper. He then alleges that there was another minor who is minor Doe 2. And he says that that one was a Caucasian female. She was not a U.S. citizen. And I guess according to his lawsuit, Fat Joe began having S relations with her when she was 15 years old after a concert overseas. He flew the minor to New York and Miami, Florida on multiple occasions. He said that the minor's body being adolescent and not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a BBL. He said she eventually left, and the defendant is now married to a professional athlete. The complaint says minor Doe is a Latina female who he met when she was 15 years old, turning 16. Now, it goes on to say so much more, but that's kind of the breakdown of the lawsuit, where he is alleging that he was forced into 4,000 S acts, in addition to him being forced into these acts. He also is alleging he witnessed him have these inappropriate relationships and all. Now, it goes on to say, let's see. Let me go back up. All right. So it says, according to Dixon, the defendant was in love with minor Doe 3, even contemplated leaving his wife. The defendant paid all of minor Doe 3's bills and even took her overseas to his tour stops. He brought her to Florida and would put her up in a condo he rented a few blocks from his house with his wife. In a recorded conversation, minor Doe 3 and her 15-year-old cousin described in detail to plaintiff how inappropriate it was for defendant, who was in his late 30s at the time, to be fawning over children. Fat Joe is represented by celebrity criminal attorney Joe Tacopina, who also defended everyone from A$AP Rocky and Donald Trump in high-profile cases. Tacopina responded to the lawsuit, saying in a statement to Variety, the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, which exposed their coordinated scheme to extort Fat Joe through lies, threats, and manufactured allegations. All right. So they're saying that this is an extortion attempt, and we shall see how it all plays out. Now, my issue with this is you are a grown man and you saw another grown man having an inappropriate relationship with a minor, and because you wanted to have proximity to a certain lifestyle, be able to fly overseas, you decided that it was not important to involve law enforcement until you were cut out of the lifestyle. Now that you're cut out of the lifestyle and you're not able to go on tour and you're not able to be a part of the group, now you have an issue with it and so much more. That's what I have a problem with. If these allegations are true, shame on you. This makes you, to me, look even worse, that in order for you to have a job with Terror Squad, you would look at something that you now deem as morally inadequate, and you saw this go down, but you were okay with it as long as you were able to wear your Terror Squad chain. And now that you're not a part of the franchise anymore, you want to speak about it and want to ask money in what looks like a shakedown. Now, I think that if you or anybody else for that matter witness any crimes done against minors and you do not go to the police and you then wait years and years and years and years later to then file this information in a lawsuit, I think that you should get charges too. All right. Now, if I feel like that should be a crime, like witnessing a minor be put into a compromising situation where she's influenced by money and fame and, you know, being groomed by a grown man, and you watch and observe it and you say nothing about it until you not benefiting financially, I feel like that should be a crime as well. Now, we'll see how this plays out, but you guys let me know what y'all think about it. Now, again, there was several different people who spoke about it. Hassan Campbell have been speaking about it, and he even spoke about how, I guess, before this guy went to Choke No Joke to do his interview, he first propositioned to do a tell-all with Tasha K. And Tasha K, like, I guess, turned him away because he went to Choke No Joke before giving her the exclusive. This is what Hassan Campbell is saying in his video. But if you guys look up social media, you can see all of the different interviews that he did. Now, let's look through his Instagram page, because again, like I said, it looks like those type of pages where people make like fake pages to like just like talk about people. Most of the like a lot of the posts are Fat Joe posts, and he's pretty angry with him and things of the thing. So let's look through his page. So let's go to the top, and according to his interview with Choke No Joke, let me see. So hold on, let me share this real quick so y'all can see. According to his interview with Choke No Joke. Oh, let me take this off. Stop sharing. All right, let me share screen. All right. So as you can see, he puts his on this video that he does with Choke No Joke, and it gives you his Instagram name, just for those of you guys who want to know how I got led to this particular page. So in this interview with him and Choke No Joke, he puts his Instagram at that strategy. So I want y'all to know, you know, that this is his actual Instagram page. For when y'all like, how you know this is his Instagram page? Because this is what he tagged on his interview with Choke No Joke. Now, let's go to that strategy Instagram page. So as you can see here, this is the IG page. All right. So you can see it says that strategy. And we're just going to go through and look and check it out. All right. So let's go through it. So if you scroll down, you will go down to the bottom, and here is one of his posts. So in June 17th of 2023, he posted a post calling out Fat Joe. So he says, at Fat Joe, Milwaukee was scary and it was your fault. Should I go into detail? And this was that post. So then in June 17, 2023, he put rapper Fat Joe question about SA complaint. And this was an article from 2010. And he put, at Fat Joe, this R charge was on you. I know the story and I will go into full detail, and it's more to come. All right. So people were tagging Tasha K, The Shade Room, TMZ, Hassan Campbell. So then in this post in June 22nd, 2023, he posts up a post and he says, This the Fat Joe I know, the guy that couldn't get a show in the US, the guy that didn't wear jewelry, the guy that only wore white and black tees, the guy that asked me to leave the streets alone and take a huge pay cut for him, the guy that begged me in and day out to stick by his side because everybody left Terror Squad. All right. So somebody in the comments said, grow up. Stop acting like a bitter ex-girlfriend. If you knew Fat Joe was doing all this BS, why the HE double hockey sticks? You didn't say nothing when y'all was cool. Oh, I know, because this dude was giving you money and taking care of your low life. I believe you and Fat Joe had a secret, not they had a secret relationship. Sure. I didn't read that. Okay. That's something else, child. But anyways, this is the picture of him and Fat Joe and all of the things of the things. Now let's read some more. All right, so this him promoting one of his songs the same day. All right, so then this is the picture of him, Fat Joe, and Trey Songz. And this was posted July 4th, 2023. And this is the picture. Let me zoom in on it. And then let's go to his caption. So in his caption, he put, instead of putting me on, getting me that feature with Trey Songz, this fat whack dude, Fat Joe, would rather hold me back, negotiate for himself, and flop. He never looked at the bigger picture. Young fly dude that would have made him a lot of money. It was hate and envy. He planned the whole time to hold me back. You can't erase history, you sucker. All right. So he is mad that Fat Joe didn't put him on, and he is claiming that he was the one that should have got a feature with Trey Songz, and instead Fat Joe held him back. Now, read into this how you will. It, to me, it sounds a particular type of way. All right.
Yo, perception is crazy.
I don't know.
100 on a nigga. So say good night.
All right. So this is July 18th, 2023. And again, he has all of these posts, like his whole Instagram page is dedicated to taking shots at Fat Joe. Like for years and years, you know, or for since 2023, he's dedicating time to make posts to go at Fat Joe and, you know, make these posts. So in this post right here,
To the back guy. Go on.
all right, it's a clip from, I believe, Scarface, and it says, "This what you want, you sucker, at Fat Joe. You got it." All right, and then in this one, it says, "Fat Joe, you really thought I was scared to show my face, you sucker? I told you it's up, right?" And then in the caption, it says, "Fat Joe, you thought I was scared to show my face, you sucker?" All right. And then this was July 19th, 2023. All right. So that's an AI video of Fat Joe farting. All right. So I guess he created an AI video where Fat Joe is allegedly farting with a wig. And in the caption, it says, "Fat Joe looks like little Joey Cap is all gas up. You out there working your magic. Don't forget who wrote that album with you, sucker." All right. So that's that video. So then another video promoting his music. So then August 14th, 2023, This is a clip from an interview that Fat Joe did. And in the caption, it says, "Does Fat Joe get a pass for saying this? And y'all wonder why I have no chill button for this sucker."
No doubt, you used to hustle on. What about I would love him to be more loyal. My story is, when I used to be in the Bronx, he used to hustle. There's no doubt. He used to hustle on Fordham Road. People never knew this. Oh no, he used to sell drugs on. He was selling drugs. Yes, off of Fordham Road. I would have never thought that. Yeah, me neither. Right? Nah, I know it for a fact. I remember who he used to hustle for too. He's locked up for life. But
I don't understand the what you call. But anyway, so that post right there. So then that August 15th, what is this? So I guess he's saying this guy terrorized Fat Joe. So it says this Mypo Madness, the guy that terrorized Fat Joe, the guy that used to go Fat Joe's store, lock the door and take whatever he wanted, the guy that threw Fat Joe in a trunk of his car and drove around the Bronx with him in it. Madness. Now, Fat Joe been fat all I know. I don't know what trunk he's fitting into, but this is him saying that this guy put Fat Joe in a trunk. All right. Now, this is another AI video that he posted of Fat Joe. And this is little Joey doing his birthday dance. And to me, it's giving obsessed. Okay. At this point, it's giving obsessed. You making AI videos all throughout the year. You posting about him. Like, this is giving obsessed at this point. It says, "This is the dance the sucker do after getting his A licked. Don't have too much fun on somebody else's yacht, you fat, soggy titty, taco meat stomach. You ain't no damn, you're no Don N-word. F out of here. You are the number one sucker." All right. So this is an AI video that he made of Fat Joe. All right. Now, the next post. All right. It says, "Fat Joe, you sucker. She didn't win, but everybody is lying. You heard it yourself. The Bronx Puerto Ricans don't F with you."
I saw something earlier today
Look
where
at
she's allegedly
sued what he says.
because of Big Plan's royalty.
She'll never win. Like, I mean, like, she'll never win because there's no truth to it. So, you know, we already in court for like a year or something, and I've
That's your man.
you know, I'm gonna win.
Bronx Boricuas don't fuck with Fat Joe.
All right, so somebody's saying that they don't F with Fat Joe. He reposted it. All right, so this is another AI video of Fat Joe. So this was posted August 31st, 2023. And he put Fat Joe on a little body. And it says, "Fat Joe, you sucker 100, backed by popular demand. Little Joey doing his pedo dance when he bags another 16-year-old. All right. So this is him making another AI video of Fat Joe. And it says, "Little Joey got them new moves. Team butt plug." All right. So this right here, it says, "Fat Joe, you sucker. The rat hunters ran you out of there, but you, the Don, you soft." All right. So this was September 2nd, 2023. All right. So September 9th, 2023, it says, "Wow, there's no statute of limitations on R wording. R's beware." All right. So then this is another AI video of Fat Joe. And it says, little Joey Cap doing his pedo dance. He's diving, looking for little girls. Fat Joe, you sucker. All right. So then September 13th, 2023, he posted another post, and it says, "Fat Joe, go register. Is this what Dons do?" And it says, "At Fat Joe, You asked me, do I take any accountability? Yes, I do, for watching you mess with underage girls, but I was minding my business and playing my position at the time. I was young myself, but didn't I ask you, scared to deal with Chiquita? And what did you say? Stop moving around in the streets like you wasn't messing with an underage girl. You going to continue to get this work, Joe. It's okay. You're a pedo. Just go register. And this was September 13th, 2023. All right. So then September 20th, 2023, he also posted another post. And this is, I don't know, let me see.
TAs, you know, put that camera on this man. You see, he got his waves. He got his waves going. You got a project coming soon? Oh,
we
man.
working, man. We working, man. That's what's up. TS, man. We working.
Yep. And then we got my man Rico Love on there. He wrote a.
Is there any terror squad on there?
TAs, you know, put that camera on this man. You see, he got his waves. He got his waves going.
You got a project coming soon?
Oh,
we
man.
working, man. We working, man. That's
what's up.
TS, man. We working.
Yep. And then we got my man Rico Love on there.
All right. So a clip of Fat Joe shouting him out and telling them that he put him on the Terror Squad album. So in the caption, he said, this is why Fat Joe the sucker is getting all this work. The proof is out there. At who is Panda Beast Mode. All right.
There's nothing.
So then October 2nd, 2023, he posted another post and it says, once again, you got caught lying, little Joey. Why should anybody believe anything that comes out of your mouth, you rat fat Joe?
More scary than having a guy on your ass shooting at you 8 times in 2 days. We don't rat. So we don't go to the cops and be like, yo, the green Plymouth Reliant. Like, we don't rat.
There's no doubt. You used to hustle on what about I would love him to be more loyal. My story is
80. All right. So then October 11, 2023, he posted another post, a clip of Fat Joe talking to Nori. And it says, damn, you fat, greedy, sloppy N. I didn't know you made that much for Africa and you only paid me $250 a show. And I did the majority of your show. People, you see what I mean about this sucker? He said it himself out his mouth, 100. N-words got kidnapped and I had to miss special holidays like Christmas, New Year's, kids' birthdays for chump change. You getting all this work.
Like, but it was like
I made a
like
$500,000 this show.
God
That's
damn.
the biggest I ever made.
God damn.
$500,000 this show. Nah, Africa. I remember
80. Like, but it was like.
All right. So he said that he was getting paid $250 a show, and Fat Joe made him miss important holidays and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out, when does getting a different job, like, or is it, I don't know. Anyways, October 12th, 2023, he posted a post and it says, Fat Joe, you sucker, this is coming out your son's Ryan's mouth. The only thing he wanted to do was music, but you blow the bag on your wife who cheated on you so many times. You give her what she wants. You let your workers at your store, hashtag up NYC, fire your son. Notice I said your store because they can't make that move without your consent.
So much on my mind. I got so much on my mind. Like what? What's up? It's just because, you know, ever since I could remember, I wanted to make music. Now it's like the single is ready, and my pop trying to stop all the resources.
All right. So then it said that he had a YouTube coming soon. He made a YouTube channel.
of blackballing.
December 4th, 2023, he posted another post and he said, Little Joey, was this loyalty? Who was with you when Tony Sunshine was going at you with Cuban or made that diss record? Don't ever use that word loyally in that crew. Your whole crew did you dirty. But only question is why they did you dirty? All right. So then December 6, 2023, he posts, wait until America finds out, Little Joey. You know where this is going. You know, if I'm saying it, I got it. And then in the caption, it says, does Market America know they have a pedo as their spokesperson? We was at an event and Joe wouldn't stop, but I will get to that later. All right, December 13th, 2023. Let's see.
Yo, Choke, no joke. What's up, my brother? It's TA the Legend. Interview coming soon. Stay tuned. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Get at me.
All right. So February 19th. So I just showed you guys a year worth of posts going at Fat Joe. Now we're into another year, into February 2024. So February 24, he posted a post, and I guess this is him and Fat Joe on stage. All right. So it says, let him tell it. I wasn't that in on stage. I even had the sucker hyping up hundreds and fifties in Australia. I kept you breathing, you coward. That's what you are, a coward. Joe scared to see other N-words shine. All right. So here is a video of Fat Joe having him on stage, and he's saying that Fat Joe was scared to see him shine when we see him on stage and Fat Joe allowing him to shine. So I don't know. I don't know. Oop. Child. So then May 23rd, 2024, it says, when y'all see Little Joey out in public, y'all have to chase him out of there. Little Joey was dating and having hanky-panky with a 16-year-old girl named Nikki, aka Chiquita. He had a full-fledged relationship with her for 5 years. This was May 23rd, 2024. And it says, damn, homie, even look like Little Joey. When you see him, run him out there. You want a 16-year-old Little Joey, you are banned from being around underage girls. June 6, 2024, he posted a clip of Fat Joe, and it says, this is the guy, Little Joey, that's saying everyone is lying on him. Joe, you lost in court to I am Lizaros. So you want this lady to take back the truth to make you look good, you sucker? Joe, you had many chances to put on artists. How many artists was signed to you that never reached their full potential? How many? Slimy Pink King. So this says, born and bred to betray by Liz Doyle, talks about Fat Joe in his street days. Remember the paperwork on Joe ratting wasn't real? How could it be published in a book? No book could be published with fake paperwork or it will be taken off the shelves and not allowed to be showed. So this was August 14, 2024. So now we're into 2 years of post. He says, had a good conversation with Pocholo and Willis Lynch Mob real stand up. So this is him, I guess, in October. All right. So this is what he's looking like with the white shirt on. It says Jose Muya, aka Ray's interview from prison, speaking on Fat Joe, snitching on him, nasty work. This was August 24th, 2024. Ladies, imagine waking up next to Sag Bag every morning. Sheesh, little Joey, you are just terrible. This was September 11th, 2024. September 20th, 2024, he posted another post of Fat Joe, Diddy, and DJ Khaled. It says, Fat Joe, DJ Khaled, what happened now? Y'all gonna act like y'all don't know Diddy? Sucker-ish. Y'all don't want to be a part of that baby oil I see, but don't act like y'all wasn't with him 100. What happened to Toast to Brothers? Fat Joe, Nikki was underage when you flew her across state lines out the country. All right. So this is a post that he made in September of 2024. October 1st, 2024, he posted another post about Fat Joe, and it says, this N-word Dre, 6'7", was really having an S relationship with a minor. I can't make this ish up. Fat Joe had a full-fledged relationship with Nikki, who was underage. These ends are terrible. Damn, Dre, that's what you was doing in all the studio with that underage girl all those nights alone? Fat Joe knew Dre was having hanky-panky with an underage girl because Joe was the guy telling him, calm down, we gonna take care of it. The girl is from Miami. She sing and her brother played the piano. In the caption, it says, people, you have to watch these preds. They will prey on your underage daughters behind your back. Any man that's famous and have the money and power to do just about anything they want is sick, no matter how well spoken they are, how the physical appearance look. It's a mental issue that needs to be addressed. October 29th, 2023, it says, anything that sucker touches goes to trash. You have to keep the out of your cock mouth, Fat Joe, away from good things. November 3rd, 2024, he posted, New York Yankees Soggy Joe was a very bad choice. This World Series is going down in history as Nasty L. For you and the top of it, Fat Joe, one of the worst human beings on this planet, is attached to it. You need to ban Soggy Joe from the stadium, and whoever hired him to perform needs to get fired. All right, so November 12th, 2024, it says, love you, my brother Percy. So he was posting a post to Percy, posting an old throwback of himself. Then December 17th, 2024, it says, out of control, Will Mills, the lies don't stop, hashtag Fat Joe. Then December 28th, 2024 is the audio that I played for you guys with Hassan Campbell. And then December 30th, 2024, it says, it shows a picture of him and Fat Joe. So let me bring that up. So as you can see, this is a picture of him, Fat Joe, and I think that's Ja Rule to the left. And in the caption, it says, this was in Africa when we got kidnapped. My facts are 100. Fat Joe, don't never forget, I kept you breathing. The people you see with him now left him for dead. Only suckers do sucker-ish. Ja Rule, you remember this day, right? At DJ Twin and Matchots or whatever. All right. And this was December 30th, 2024. So he did a podcast. Let me see.
So the way the Lord Jamar song came about, Choke No Joke reached out to me and he was like, yo, Lord Jamar got a song. He's getting Cuban on it. You should get on that. Like, I said, all right, whatever. I did it on the strength of Choke, right?
Right.
So shout out to Choke No Joke. He bridged that.
Okay, he's talking about a song.
Yo, go eat your little fucking steak and fucking little.
Anytime, TA, you good, bro. If you want to chime in, any other,
Hell no. Unless
just holler, bro. It's all love.
Next
it's all
time,
love.
Nah.
All right. This was April 27th. And then he's shouting out Percy. All right. So these are the different posts on his social media. I just wanted to read through those with you guys. And y'all let me know what y'all think about it. To me personally, from the outside looking in, again, I'm not saying that Fat Joe didn't engage in the things that he's saying, but if you watch certain things go on, especially when it comes to minors, and you say nothing for the sake of having access to a rapper lifestyle, then you are complicit and you get no brownie points for speaking up years later. His social media looks like a disgruntled ex-business associate that is mad that the connections and the lifestyle that he had access to, it looks as though he's disgruntled that he has no longer access to that lifestyle. Now, it is up to you and you alone what happens with your life and your success. You know what I mean? Like, I understand a person wants to be a rapper and you have access to being a rapper. If it didn't work out with Fat Joe and you no longer was in the Terror Squad, it was up to you to use the connection that you should have been able to build 16 years in the industry to branch off and do something else. If you were not able to make something of yourself outside of being Fat Joe's hype man, and you feel as though he owed it to you to bring you up and make you successful, newsflash, you owed it to yourself to break away and make a name for yourself outside of him. It don't take 16 years to realize I'm not elevating to a certain particular level. You need to do what you need to do to be who you want to be in life. And it looks to me, again, I don't know, but just on the surface, it looks like you're mad that you didn't make it and you did not become the famous rapper and you didn't excel above him and you left back to square one, and you're mad because he still is able to be Fat Joe and have his career. Now, again, that's not saying that he didn't entangle into underage situations. Hopefully that gets hashed out in court. And if that is true, then he deserves to be held accountable for whatever it is. I can't vouch and say what these men are doing in their personal lives, and I will not defend that at all. Only thing I can say is be a man, stand on your 2 feet, and you owe it to yourself to be successful and do what's necessary outside of attaching your name to another man. If it didn't work out with him, people are boots on the ground rapping on making, SoundCloud. They building buzz, building hype. It's people right now. I'm in New York City, but it's people right now probably in Times Square passing out before it used to be passing out CDs. Now people got QR codes and ways to download music and all kind of stuff like that. So it's a mess. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Do you guys believe that Fat Joe was in fact dealing with underage girls? And what do you feel about the fact that Fat Joe said that he was doing a shakedown, he sued him, and in retaliation or in response to Fat Joe's lawsuit, he then filed this lawsuit. Now, the unfortunate thing about these lawsuits are once you file these papers, whether you get a Tony Busby, whether you get a Tyrone Blackburn to represent you, whoever you get to file lawsuits, whether the claims are true or not, once those headlines get put out in the atmosphere, there are going to be people who believe it just for the simple fact that they believe that all people who are in the entertainment industry are these deviants who, do all these things. And there are people, no matter, even if it comes out to not be true, who are always going to still believe that rumor. And that's the unfortunate thing about these lawsuits, is you can put anything in them and they get spread like wildfire. And even if it gets thrown out of court, even if it gets proven to be not true, those rumors stick with the people. That's the only thing that I don't like about this climate of these lawsuits and these certain attorneys putting this stuff out there, is because once it's out there, it's out there. So we'll see what he does. He has a defamation suit and saying that trying to extort him. We'll see how it all plays out. And we also seen how for the past 3 years, he has been calling out Fat Joe, saying that he was dealing with a minor. So this wasn't just said in the lawsuit. Now, I showed you guys how this was things that he has been saying online for the past 3 years. So have that what you will with this information. But what's scary is when you are a person who builds a certain level of success, and even if you're not a person who builds a certain level of success, as you get older, sometimes you grow apart from people. Okay, like me as a content creator, I'm a YouTuber, but outside of being a YouTuber, I am a woman who is growing in age and in wisdom. And everybody, I'm not going to associate with them forever. So it's one of those things to where any type of success you have to worry about people coming after you, because that access to you has been cut off. I came to a point in 2025 where I purged a lot of people. I looked at, my interactions with certain people. I looked at, does this person trigger me? Does this person like what type, like, why is this person in my life? What, what is the situation? And I purged a lot of people. But even me as a YouTuber, there might be people who get mad because I removed access from my life, which I'm entitled to. But when you are a celebrity and you are giving people a certain particular lifestyle and you cut off access to that lifestyle, it's unfortunate, but this is the day and age that you don't let me get on the yachts in the mansion, I'm gonna come for you. So just be careful as far as who you allow around you, who you allow in your circle. And when you get into whatever you want to get into, just realize that that can be a receipt later for somebody to try to have against you or hold over your head. So stay safe out here. I'm just gonna try to make sure that I report the news when it comes out. I was gonna say something else, but I had to. But anyways, but yeah. So let me see. I don't know what y'all saying, but it is. What time is it, child? Y'all know I'm in New York to cover the Diddy trial, and court is in the morning. It's 3:50 a.m. and I'm supposed to be going to the Diddy trial tomorrow, but I cannot sleep. So I wanted to talk to y'all. I'm over here in this hotel room looking outside at my view and all that. And I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about this lawsuit and let me tell the people, what I was able to uncover and find. Y'all know I'll be like into you said, I bet there will be no court tomorrow. Child, it wouldn't be surprising. It would not be surprising. It would not be surprising. But yeah, so make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you guys share the video, because we are pulling out posts and receipts and stuff that a lot of other content creators are not doing the work to find for y'all. So definitely make sure to follow my videos. I'll talk to y'all later.